Welcome to the latest installment of the Gameplan Breakdown, my solo episodes where I break down a specific topic in sports content. And today is an exciting one and a fun one. Today I'm going to break down my visit and my trip to the Gondola Sports Summit 2026 in Denver. So let's get into it. So I will break down the summit from my perspective, what I learned, and my biggest takeaways from the panels and the workshops I attended, and just give you the overall vibe of the summit and everyone there. So first, let's start off why I went. So this goes back all the way to episode 5 of the Sports Content Game Plan podcast, where I had Jared Kleinstein as a guest. And Jared is the founder of Fresh Tape Media and Gondola. And Gondola is the premier platform for creators credit, where creators can take credit for their work in social media and in content creation. So during my episode with Jared, he just invited me to come to Denver for the Gondola Sports Summit.
You must. I want to say Sweden next year, so Isaac, I expect you there. It's going to be great.
I felt compelled and really excited to go to Denver and experience the summit myself. So I booked my tickets, I booked my spot at the summit, and then 5 months later, I was on my way to Denver. I was going to Denver for a week. It was my first time in the Mile High City, so I wanted to experience the city also during my time there. And I also even had time to sign up for a 10-mile run race. So that was fun. But of course, the Sports Summit was the main event. And personally, I have never really done anything like this for myself, to go to a conference or a summit like this and really immerse myself in sports content or content creation in this way in sports. So this was the first time for me doing something like this for myself, and go outside my comfort zone and try to connect with new people and try to connect with other people in this industry, especially in, internationally and especially in the US. So that was really fun, and also a personal challenge, a personal experience that I wanted to do to really try to grow and to go outside my comfort zone. So that was my expectation beforehand, to really try to be open and try to, learn and try to get new insights in sports content and try to get new ideas and learn from all these amazing creators and amazing sports content creatives in this field. So that was the goal, and I also wanted to learn, where sports content is today, where it's heading, and also get to know some of the people that I follow online and get to meet them face to face and really, connect with other people in this industry. Just like why I started this podcast, to meet the creators behind the content we all see online that we think is amazing, and we try to to learn from them and to get to know them. Because like I have stated with this podcast, a lot of us work behind the scenes remotely, or editing, shooting, creating, but events like this just reminds you of the whole community behind it. And there is a really nice community that I will get into. I also had a chance to catch up with Jared before the Sports Summit. So as I said, I arrived a few days early, and we were able to grab lunch, and he showed me around the Fresh Tape Media and Gondola office and all these things. And we talked about, life, we talked about sports content, we talked about the summit, we talked about everything. So it was really fun, and I really appreciate him taking the time to show me around and inviting me to Denver also. So it was really fun to just get this one-on-one time with him. So that was really special and I really appreciate it. And now for the summit, it was held at the Denver Art Museum. So the scenery and the location was top notch. It was so beautiful and a perfect space to just connect with people and have time to walk around, but also check out these amazing art exhibitions in between the sessions. Was really nice. And we actually kicked off the summit with a meetup at the Rockies game. So that was also my first MLB game that I attended. So it was fun, but the weather was not so good. It was raining, cold, but it was just nice to start meeting all these amazing people that I was going to hang out with the coming days. So I just get to know them, get to meet them, just hang out in a different setting. It was really fun. The game, didn't spend so much time watching the game, but it was fun just to get an experience of a baseball game in the US. And the summit itself was 2 days packed with workshops, insights, and networking opportunities. And the panels and the workshop was divided in 2 tracks. So it was one more focusing around the production and design, and one more targeted towards social and marketing. But you were able to switch between them. So if you wanted to catch one panel in one of the rooms, then you could go back for the next one in the other room. So it was no problem to just learn anything that you wanted to learn from. And overall, it was over 550 attendees, a new record for the summit, and the energy and the vibe was amazing. It was really felt very open. The energy felt very positive. The energy felt very, collaborative. So it was easy to get to meet new people. Of course, me coming from outside of the States, it was just me and a few other people that were coming from outside of the US. So of course, me coming alone also was a bit different. A lot of people came in their teams from their different clubs or their workplaces, but still felt very included, still felt very nice. You can just, get to meet so many new people, say hi to people, just introduce yourself, and get some nice conversations in between the different workshops and panels. It was really nice. You felt very welcome and you felt really appreciated for being there, and just the overall vibe and energy was, like I said, amazing. I already felt like day one, or just being there, I felt like I have to come back next year. It's like done. I have to experience this again, even while I was experiencing it for the first time. So that was amazing. And you can just really feel the passion a lot of people have for this field, and all these great, amazing insight, and how much people care about the sports content world, and how much they actually know, and how much you can just learn from being in these rooms, and just all the takeaways. It was really great, and I really am thankful and grateful for going there, and really just try to immerse myself in this world in a different way, like I mentioned I haven't done before. And just having this mix of people. It was the content creators, it was the creators, it was the photographers, the strategists, the directors of marketing or directors of social media, and social leads, all mixing together and learning from each other. You have all these people working with the NBA, NHL, NFL, MLB, colleges, of course. But one thing that stood out to me is the feeling of we all, regardless of what level you are working on, what teams you are working on, a lot of us working in the sports content or with the social media, we still face the same challenges, we still face the same questions, we still face the same insecurities, or we still face the same stuff that I feel when I'm working here in Sweden or Europe. and we still want to, grow and learn and get better at our skills and get better at our jobs. So it was a nice, just reality check and encouragement of feeling like all these people here, depending on their level or their jobs, we still want the same thing. And it was nice just feeling this collaborative environment, and people just want to learn from each other and want to really get to know each other in a different way. So after a quick welcome and opening keynote from Jared, the day started, and there was full on, no stop until late at night, after the after party. Full days with workshops, panels, and I just tried to get as much insight and get as much knowledge as possible from all these amazing people. So I'm going to try to break down my favorite parts of the Gondola Sports Summit 2026. My 3 favorite panels from day 1 was the photo stories with Art But Make It Sports. LJ Rader, the creative behind Art But Make It Sports, is one of my favorite accounts, and it was just so much fun to get to know his journey in this field and starting his account and just creating this niche thing in sports content with blending arts and sports. So it was really fun, and also get the perspective from the photographers, Garrett Elwood and Shaina Goldberg, during this panel, working how art actually influences the photography, or how photography lends from art and other things in their stories. So it was really fun, and you will get to know LJ Rader even more on this podcast very soon. Another panel I really enjoyed was the Your Sponsored Content is Trash, and Here's How to Fix It, with David Brickley and Alex Kopilov. What I really enjoyed about this talk was how tangible it was. Like, the things they were talking about, you could really pick these things, write them down, memorize them, and really apply them directly to your own work in what you are doing in your field. You could take their fans' framework and apply it directly to your own stuff, to your own content, and really make your sponsored content even better. And one of the most important things they said is there is no such thing as sponsored content versus organic content. There is only good content and bad content. So even working with sponsors or partners, you can make the content still stand out in a special way. It doesn't have to be boring, or doesn't have to be, not engaging with your audience. It can still feel like it's a content part of your world, and how you don't have to force the sponsored content onto your audience. You can actually make them feel like it's a part of your brand and a part of your appeal, to make it feel native. That was a really fun talk, and I learned so much just from this one talk. My third favorite panel from the first day was the last one of the day, and this panel was with Rory Kramer, accomplished photographer and filmmaker, Jake Plates, Olympic and Snow League snowboarder, and Garrett Augustus, photographer, led by Gabby Akinsaya from Fresh Shape Media. And this panel was more focused on, the other parts of being a creative or being in this industry, not just the work, but actually, the behind the scenes from the work. When everything stops, the anxiety, the injuries, or losing your sense of identity, or just all these imposter syndrome, or all the worries and all the fears you have within your work or within your life, and how it affects your creativity and how it affects your life in different ways. And it was a really powerful panel, hearing these people talk about their journeys in their respective fields and the setbacks and the challenges they had to face in different ways, and how they managed it and how they really took it to the next level, and how they got to another place, and how they found their creative sparks in different ways through the hard times. So I really appreciated this conversation, because these are things that I really resonate with myself a lot also, you know, all these other things inside your human parts, your emotions, your feelings, and how they really affect you as a person, and both in life but in work also. So they shared some really powerful stuff about life and about being a creative. Quotes that will stay with me is, what's true to you? Rory Kramer mentioned this, so it's, what content do you actually want to create? What content inspires you? What content makes you feel happy? What content do you actually enjoy doing? Or what creative endeavors do you actually enjoy doing? Not just trying to chase the algorithm, just really like do the things that you enjoy. And through that, the other things will come. So stay true to you. Another thing that really resonated with me was Jake Pates mentioned that we all have these insecurities about putting yourself out there, talking to a camera, or just, you know, being all these things on social media. But he said that success is on the other side of cringe. And I really, really resonated with that, because that's how I feel, you know, doing this podcast, starting this podcast. Today I can feel more relaxed. I can feel more present in doing this podcast. I can feel more like this is my space. I can hold this space in a better way. I still have far more ways to go, but just looking back 6 months, first episodes, I really felt I was so nervous. I was so, you know, trying to hold it together, all these questions, interacting with the guests, trying to make the conversations feel organic, not just an interview. And it felt very cringe, or even just before that also trying to create content where I'm sitting and talking to a camera felt very cringe and very outside my comfort zone. But today I feel more confident in it, and like I said, still have ways to go, but just having this mindset of push through, or just like Rory Kramer said, run it. That's his thing. His 2 words that he's been going on in his career. Just run it. Run it. Just continue. So success is on the other side of cringe. Amen. And also just like, you know, staying grateful, staying thankful for the life that we have. We only have this one life. We only have this short time on earth. And have this perspective can really help you, you know, just be more mindful and be more present in today, and just say, why not? Why shouldn't I create these things? Why shouldn't I do these things that I want to do? So why not? Just we live this life and just enjoy this life that we have. And also, as Rory and Jake and Garrett share their personal stuff and personal things that they've been going through in their personal lives, it really felt very powerful to end the day with this talk and this panel. So I really want to thank these guys for bringing these things up, and I really appreciated it. On the second day, I really enjoyed the 2 workshops with, firstly, Judah Hoffman from Dude Perfect. He's the head of social media. And they had this great workshop on trial reels and how they used it to grow organically in an amazing way. And I've always been like, not really sure how to use trial reels on Instagram. So he broke it down in a very detailed way, which made it very easy to, you know, pick these things and really learn how you can apply these things to your own work or to your own organizations that I work with. So I really enjoyed that one, to just really learn how to use trial reels to my advantage. And I also enjoyed the workshop with Jen Kimura about YouTube and how you can work with YouTube today to really empower it for your organization or your team, because it's hard today with YouTube. YouTube has gotten harder. It's hard to grab people's attention, so you really have to work in a specific way. YouTube is a big opportunity today, but you really have to learn how to use it in the right way, breaking down, you know, the details in thumbnails or storylines or storytelling, but you don't really do the work and YouTube will work for you. So those two workshops on the second day was really insightful and really something I take a lot of things with me from. Another thing that really stuck with me was from the very first panel, from the very first day, where they talked about planning for tentpole events, and Justin Karp, the VP social media from NBCU, talked about the attention economy today and how the audience's most important currency today is time. What are you going to spend your time on? With our own content, how can you actually make people want to spend their currency, spend their time on your content? And he also mentioned working flame to flame. This was in regards to the Olympics coverage for the NBCU, but like from flame to flame. So how do you keep the engagement going between two big tentpole events? Can you remind them about how you felt? Can you remind them about the events that happened, the big hits or the big highlights from these events, and connect it back to how people were feeling? Because it's also important to remember in this business and in this field that people connect with people, not companies. So people connect with the athletes, the person behind your favorite sports. So that is also very important to remember. And the last thing I would like to circle back from is from Jared Kleinstein's opening keynote, where he said that the sports creative business is a people industry. And you can really feel that being at the Gondola Sports Summit 2026 with all these amazing people there, all these amazing creatives, and you can really feel the people behind all these content that you see online are really great people and great human beings. So that was amazing to be a part of it. Overall, my week in Denver was a really fun experience. I really enjoyed it, and I also really enjoyed the city, the nature, the surroundings. It was really fun to explore a new city, explore a new state, a new part of the US I haven't been to before, and I really enjoyed it. It was such a beautiful city, and the weather was amazing until the summit started. Then it was not the most fun weather, but it was really nice to just enjoy Denver. And I also got to experience my first NHL game. After the summit, I went to the Colorado Avalanche's Western Conference Finals game versus the Vegas Knights. So that was also fun to experience my first NHL game and my first American playoff game, actually. So it was really fun. It was a nice experience, and Ball Arena is amazing, and the energy was so high in the arena. It was so cool to, experience the playoff atmosphere. I always love going to NBA games, American games, because it's a special feeling experiencing sports in the US, and it was really fun to experience a NHL game also. And I also would like to do a big shout out to Jared Kleinstein and of course the whole Gondola team for doing this summit, doing this event. And Jared, thank you for taking the time to spend time with me, inviting me to Denver, and just really felt taken care of. So I appreciate it a lot, and you are an amazing guy, and the whole team of Gondola and Fresh Tape Media, so amazing. And I can't wait to get back to Denver for the 2027's edition of the Gondola Sports Summit. So this was my breakdown of the Gondola Sports Summit 2026. I will probably get back to a lot of these things in the future because there were so many insights, so much value that I will have to process. But overall, such a great week, such a great summit. And if you have the opportunity to go to the Gondola Sports Summit next year, do it. Your money will be worth it. I will tell you that. So take care, and until next time, stay great.